Welcome, everybody, to podcast 7 of the Key Yard Podcast, the only podcast to come to if you're in need of a virtual hug.
Oh, very nice.
It's got to be wholesome for the 7th one. Katie doesn't like odd numbers, so she'll definitely not be watching this. Not just the fact that she's in work as well. But this episode is brought to you by bacon, because if you're in a need for something to cure your hangover, Rob, then that is all the more great for you.
I've got to say, I'm feeling quite sprightly today. We should explain the context. Last night, Corey Taylor had his For 'Em or Against 'Em show, and afterwards, Bees was hosting the DJ after party set on his YouTube channel, Mosh Talks, and I partook in a bit of whiskey drinking, shall we say?
Yes, quite.
Which did end with me incidentally going on Jackbox and doing battle raps with strangers.
Oh yes,
but that's neither here nor there.
It is here if I show it.
Are you going to show it already?
Yes.
Oh no.
Hello there. This is Rob's master rap. Enjoy.
Let's go, Rob. Let's go.
Looking at me with that face so reprobate. You're as fruitless and limp as a long line test for weight.
Hope there's no dead air.
Nice.
Now fuck off so I can watch the Great British Bake Off.
It's so good, isn't it?
Everybody watched
Came out of that.
like that Great British
go,
Bake
Rob.
Off thing right at the end.
Yeah, I know.
It's the best.
The way it works essentially is that you have to the first line it's only the one word at the end that you have to come up with.
Yeah.
And same as the third line, but the second and fourth lines of the stanza, you have to come up with an entire verse yourself.
Right.
So I was quite pleased with that, really, considering I had a bit to drink as well.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to start doing Jackbox on my Twitch.
But shout out to the Invicta Mag Twitch channel for letting me come on and do that.
Yeah.
Give them a follow.
Yeah, like I said, I've got Jackbox Party Pack 4, which has got that's got Fibbage in it. Or Steal the Internet, is that what it's called? Or something like that. Survive the Internet, that's the one.
There's Quiplash, there's Murder Trivia, there's
Monster Seeking Monster, which is the worst one to play if it's all a double date with everyone.
I've never done that one, actually.
It's a weird one. You have to it's like sort of Tinder, but basically you have a limit of 5 or 3 texts to send to people, and then based on the best encounter, you vote for who you want to match with, and you get more points if you both match each other, or if you get rejected or something like that. I've only played it once, but it was one of the lesser ones that we played. My favourite's Survive the Internet, because it's kind of like a mock the week sort of style thing, where you just put in ridiculous funny answers. The Fibbage is
there's this one called I want to say Quespionage, but it's probably it's some pun to do with the word espionage, and it's regarding surveys from the general public, and you have to guess the percentage of people that answered this survey in the affirmative.
Right. So
for example, sorry about that. What
is it, like Family Fortunes in that sense?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. But you have to guess the number, and there's a buffer for how many points you get.
Right.
But that's pretty fun. I've been doing that on Jim Redwood's stream. Shout out to her. Hey Scurvy. Hey GW Plays. Hello there.
Hello there. Yes. Speaking of which, so I guess we can move on to my story of the week. So I've decided I've not really gotten much into the Halloween spirit in the last few years. Up until the 31st of October, I was very literal with it. But there is no excuse. If Christmas can have a full month dedicated, a full year dedicated to it based on the shops now, that Halloween can't have the same. So first thing I've done is change my Twitter profile picture. It's hot, it's raunchy. Let's close that. It's freaky. And all the things you can imagine. So I'm a massive... It was either between this or K-Boo or something like that, King Boo.
I love that.
But I went with this because I preferred the outlook of the picture more. And people have already said they want to die after seeing this, but I don't know what they're talking about. I think it's pretty hot, if you ask me.
Fair dues.
Um,
GW Plays is here from Gemma's Discord. Welcome. Yeah, I did do a little subtle plug for this. Can I just say a quick shout out to everyone who's listened to us so far? You are the best. You can find us on YouTube under the name Keyard Podcast, where you'll find optimized versions of each podcast and the topics we cover.
who needs a social media manager when you got Rob?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm the hype man.
So yeah, I guess because I've been doing my own share of videos lately, I recently did that Creepy PMs one, which was like a Reddit reading thing, and that was a bit of a tease into October week because sorry about that. Anything can be creepy, even in the real world. I've got a Reddit reading which is dedicated to the month of October, which is based on the subreddit Let's Not Meet, which is based on stories where people have encountered people in real life that they would never like to meet again. It's a bit of a lengthy one, so I thought it would be more of like a sort of dramatic Stephen Fry styled reading, and get straight into that. And people voted on Twitter that I play Alien Isolation in my stream for October, and so yeah, so far so good. It's pretty challenging compared to other survival horrors I've played. Yeah, Let's Not Meet is great. My girlfriend was the one who led me to Let's Not Meet, and I've been looking at it ever since. So it's lovely. Alien Isolation is also a terrific game so far.
I can't believe that game is 6 years old. It's ridiculous. Like, I remember watching full blown walkthroughs of that. You're going to have a hell of a time, KB, I tell you.
Oh yeah, like I've the thing is, I only saw the bits of tra la la la, my ding ding dong. Sorry, someone responded. No, it's
Wow.
I've seen Scariest Moments montages, but that's all I've seen. I didn't see the fact that you've got to encounter humans and stealthily go past them a lot, so I was a bit taken aback by that in my stream. So it was a bit of a weird one. But I find when you like do streams of horror games, I don't think you talk as much as you would if you're like doing like an RPG game, because your mind is very much in it, and it's all about the tension and the atmosphere. So
yeah,
totally. But I think it complements it quite a bit. So enough about me. What is going on in the world of Rob? Very odd.
What's going on in my world? Well, not much this week. It's been relatively quiet. I'm kind of cheating a bit because my interesting news is actually from last Sunday. But it still counts as this week in my eyes because it's only Saturday today. I went paintballing.
I love paintballing.
Now, obviously, with the news that you can only have 6 people in a gathering unless it's a team sport. This counts as a team sport, apparently, so there was a fair few of us. But shout out to Conflict Paintball in Northampton. I had the best time. I was there from about 8:30 a.m. to about 5 in the afternoon. So it's a long, long day.
Nice.
We had several great rounds. Before I got there, basically, you could purchase. How it works is you go up and you purchase a certain amount of paintballs that you want to use, but you also have accessories to go with it. Like you could buy grenades and like flash bangs and things.
Yeah.
I don't think we could use. They said specifically we weren't allowed to use pyro this time around. I don't know whether that was social distancing reasons somehow intertwined with that. I have no idea. But what they did have was armored hand gloves. Note the emphasis on hand, and it's like what as opposed to
normal gloves,
armored face gloves,
armored shoe toes.
Oh, GWV Plays, you're from Northampton. Yeah, you do have to go to Conflict Paintball. I don't know if you've heard of it, but well worth going. Had a great time. Before we had so the rounds were we had a team deathmatch, we had capture the flag, capture the fort, we had a zombies game, and we had a riot shield game.
Yeah.
So team deathmatch is just your standard, red team versus blue team. We were split up into 2 teams. Just basically shooting at each other and until the clock runs out. Capture the flag, you have to go over into the enemy's territory and obviously capture their flag with a pole and run with the flag back to your team base. And if you've captured both the flags and you have both of your flags in your area, before the time runs out, then your team wins.
Yeah. Do you have Gary Oldman shouting out, "Do not stop shooting"?
Wow, World at War reference. I never thought I'd hear that. Good game.
Best voice actor.
There was a game where you had to put 2 coloured grenades in a box, and one coloured grenade, depending on what your team is. So if you're on the blue team, you have to put the blue coloured grenade in the box. But in order to do that, this box is on a bridge that's really exposed to enemy fire. So and if you get hit, then you have to obviously go back to what's called the dead zone.
Right.
And just wait there until you. Some games you respawn, other games you're just dead for the rest of the game. Capture the Fort was an interesting one. Basically, either you're a team that's shooting down a hill from the top of the fort, or you're a team attacking the fort, going up the hill. And essentially, that was another kind of run and hope you don't get hit type of round. Because paintballing is no joke. Those things hurt.
Yeah, like I just brought up, I was trying to remember the name of the one that's in Cardiff. So you got Delta Force in Cardiff. I remember going there for my brother-in-law's stag when he married my sister.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get to shoot my sister, but no. No, I love my sister. But I remember, I think, as far as I remember, it was so long ago, it was I must have been 13 or something like that. But there was a round where it's you're surrounding a helicopter, and it's just pretty much not a team deathmatch sort of situation. And I was the last one there, and I had to I just ran and dived off a slide at one point just to avoid getting hit. But I had 3 shots into my back in the air. I was just oh shit.
It's no joke. Those things do hurt, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And
one of them I think got me in the top of the head as well. Well, just near to the top right at the back. So yeah, not great. Yeah. But sorry, just one. I think there was another one as well. Oh yeah, there was this guy on another team who was he was on the other team, but he had his back facing to me, and I just kind of eased it in and bam, hit him right on his arse cheek.
How close were you?
I was probably about 5 meters away from him.
Right, because one of the rules is if you get too close, you have to point your gun at them and shout surrender.
Okay.
And then,
I was
and then they have to walk away because you can't shoot someone from that close. Apparently, well, certainly not with this one. I just remember though there was an instance where there was a guy. Well, for one, I shot a guy in the gonads on the bridge during the aforementioned grenade box game, which I was really apologetic about afterwards. But there's another instance where there's another guy on the other team who's crouching behind a set of barrels, and I was shooting at him, and I managed to get him, but he was right next to a marshal, and he was like, "Oh, I'm dead," sort of thing. He goes, "No, the ball didn't explode on you, so you're still in the game."
Yeah.
And he's going, okay. As soon as he popped his head up, I just shot him again.
Oh, lovely.
So no half measure, no playing fairs in the world of paintball, I tell you. The next game we had was a zombies game where essentially you have 2 people, right, who are charging at you with paintball guns, who are the zombies, against everyone else. But the only way you can kill them is by shooting them in the visor, right? So that you obviously all wear helmets. You have to shoot them in the visor to eliminate them from the game. And if you get shot by a zombie, then you have to turn into a zombie.
Mm.
So that was a hell of a round. I could barely move. I just didn't want to get hit, Riot Shield game we also had where there was a VIP with who had a riot shield, right? And he or she had to move with this riot shield. He could only move if you tap them on if you were touching them, right, on the shoulder or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, there's a points beacon, and you had to touch the points beacon to get the most amount of points, sort of thing. That was the hardest one by far. That was the one where I got shot the most. I wasn't the VIP in question, but overall, I got hit in the back. I got hit in the right thigh, which was the most painful. Left arm. I got hit in the neck, I think, as well at one point. Although that might have been a ricochet from another paintball. Or just the way I was crouching down and laying prone all day, maybe did my muscles in.
Yeah.
It's actually my quads after paintballing. It wasn't obvious straight after, but this whole week my quads have been in absolute agony. So my advice, right, and I've only just got over it. I could barely walk down the stairs without wincing, right? My advice to you is if you go paintballing, stretch before going out. Seriously. I mean, I knew it was going to be a bad omen for me during this paintball when we walked towards one of the courses and there was a dead swan in the trees that hadn't been cleared.
Yeah. I'm trying. What's that one they have in Cardiff? The indoor shooting one. I can't remember what it's called. It's like it's like laser tag, but not lasers. It's like kind of. I'm trying
also,
to search for this video.
Be prepared
to
to
coming up.
Crouch down, lay prone a lot.
Yeah.
And not get many shots off. Get some of the shots off, like by aiming through the barrels, which is what I did because they can't see you, and you have a. I don't know. I say I know this like I know what I'm doing. I was playing with some guys that clearly played before, and they knew where to establish base of fire from. There were some people that were taking it super seriously. I think the first time I went paintballing, there was a guy from like the West Country who was wearing full blown army threads, in the sort of waiting area.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, in the waiting area, our diet basically consisted of cans of Sprite and Whisper bars.
Mm.
We were promised free Domino's pizza, but that never came, unfortunately. That wasn't the fault of the paintball thing. That was just Domino's just wouldn't deliver to us, which sucks. But there's a guy in the army, Fred's, like the first time I did it way back in the day, and he was like, all right, you go left flank, and then I'll go right flank, and then we can do a pincer movement. I'm like, mate, it's paintball. Chill. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, you get a lot of those people, like the most serious people, when it's just a game and you win absolutely nothing. Like I don't know if you ever remember like Yu-Gi-Oh, and there was like a video on YouTube of a serious
Yu-Gi-Oh
player
reference.
Oh, where is he?
That takes me back, I tell you.
The greatest Yu-Gi-Oh duelist ever. This guy.
1, 2.
I've never seen this video.
3. Mine.
Just look at his hand movements later. He's such a legend.
Mallet. 4. Mallet. For 6.
Mallets.
Oh, lad.
I don't know why you're laughing, dude. You're getting your ass kicked over here.
Because you guys are laughing.
He doesn't even care about the camera either.
For 2. 4 cards remain in deck. Draw off library.
I remember watching the series back in the day, but I was never into the trading cards.
Yeah. I didn't really buy I bought booster packs, but then I just started buying the games because like cheaper.
Dark World Dealings. To draw 1 card, discard 1 card. Hand Destruction. Discarding 2 magical mallets.
Up in the air, red
Draw the
card.
final 2 cards of my deck. Setting 3 cards face down.
I like that. I like
My turn is over.
things they care about.
Activate 3 Blasting the Ruins.
Wait, did you activate Upstart Goblin?
Yeah, that's 9,000.
I love that so much. Look, there's just mind crush. Right.
Hey, you know what? He's passionate about it.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
I don't like to like. I'm not saying this stuff like out to just make fun of him.
It's not
encourage
harming
him
anyone.
to be who he is, and that is most important. Yeah. But
still, it is quite funny watching people take things quite serious.
Oh yeah, by all means, he's nuts, but I love him. It's like what's that? Do you remember that Jedi kid? Do you ever watch iDubbbz?
No, I know literally sod all about some of the memes.
Have you ever heard of a guy called Airsoft Fatty?
No.
He's like a guy who does like loads of insane stuff on a big ranch house, and he did one of the big famous video from him is like this Jedi one, and he's just like getting hit quite excessively.
Yeah,
it's quite an interesting feat. Airsoft Fatty.
But yeah, essentially, I really enjoyed doing paintball. It's just a long old day, really long old day, and it wasn't until the following day that my quads absolutely caned. Yeah, GWE plays. First time I played laser tag, my quads were killing for a week.
Yeah,
they say. Yeah, no, I honestly. For sports where you have to run and stop really quickly and go prone and like crouch down. You really do need to stretch. It's surreptitious, the way it creeps up on you, muscle injuries like that. But
Yeah.
if you don't do it, you're going to suffer.
This is one of the
That's all
many
I'm gonna say.
reasons why I've gone back to the gym, because once you get past that delayed muscle onset part of going back to the gym, you're fine after that. Like, not to brag or anything, but I'm feeling quite bodacious in my
How is
region.
your gym? How is your gym thing going? By the way?
I've lost more motivation this week. I've had a lot going on, but and I've had a
Good
week
start.
off, so it's like I started going at the start of the week, and now I think I may go later. No, I will go later. Come on, Kieran. Come on. Right. Anyway, speaking of sports, let's get on to our first news segment of the week. So I think we both have bragging rights in our own rights, don't we, in terms of football?
Yeah. So shall I start with mine?
Yeah, by all means.
Cool. All right. Well, Arsenal they played Liverpool twice in the space of a week. First instance in the league, we lost 3-1 at Anfield. Always gutting losing at Anfield because I feel like we never get good results there.
Who does really?
Lacazette, he had several one-on-one chances versus Alisson, but first one he bottled it by trying a neat dink, and then there was another even more gilt-edged chance, like one-on-one chance later on, following a good pass by Bellerin, and Aubameyang was on the wing, and it's like if that was Aubameyang going through, goal immediately.
Yeah,
he's our finisher, but for some reason Arteta keeps playing him on the wing, and it's just Lacazette isn't the finisher that Ian Wright is, or even Aubameyang is.
Yeah. Do you think he's more of a sort of attacking centre forward or something along those lines?
Yeah, he's kind of he can finish very well. I just think he's lacking in confidence at the moment.
Possibly, yeah. And like, is Arteta the kind of guy who can do that whole school of hard knocks thing and bang those people, the potentially good players, into a better mood and mentality?
You'd hope so. He's less of a wet blanket than Emery was. Emery would just, no matter what the form was, he would just play him anyway. Whereas if you look at Guendouzi and Ozil, they've both been frozen out for not being good enough or not pulling their weight or not adhering to Arteta's ethos.
I think the only time you can really give up on a player is when you've tried so much and you've exhausted all your options. You're like, well, I've done everything that I can do, and a lot of managers, I can imagine they've had a bad player or a player that's been underperforming, and they can bust them into shape. Look at Ndombele from Tottenham. He had a bit of a good start last season, and then he started underperforming. He wasn't tracking back and things like that, and he wasn't getting into the position to receive the ball. And now he's at that level now where he's doing a lot more, and it's really exciting to see. From the documentary, Daniel Levy did put some sort of words of encouragement into him, so that's also good as well. So thank you, Levy, for that. And I think at the moment it's happening with Dele Alli as well, because there's all the rumours flying around about him possibly being on loan to PSG, but then we had that match against Maccabi Haifa on Thursday. And
you battered him 7-2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like that.
Do you know, fun fact, a year ago that was the score against Bayern Munich.
Oh, but the reverse. Yeah.
That's so weird, that is. And
can I just ask? Has Dele Alli learned to make beans yet?
Beans?
Yeah. Do you remember? Well, there was there was a scene in the documentary. I think the Nothing documentary, which I'm going to call it. Where some scene where he says he's only just learned. It might be one of his tweets. I don't know, but it was something like, "I've just learned how to make baked beans today. Yay for me," sort of thing.
I've just learned how to throw a bouncy in the fire.
Is the world of a footballer, are you that wrapped up in some sort of bubble with no connection to the outside world? I know you've probably been playing since schoolboy level, so you never went to university, or you never, you left school at 14 or whatever to go and be a footballer. But surely you know how to make baked beans.
Get Gordon Ramsay to react to him on TikTok. That will sort him out.
Deli Ali, you monkey!
You donkey. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm kind of digressing from it anyway. So yeah, that wasn't a great result for us. But then on Thursday we played Liverpool again at Anfield, and we actually beat them on penalties to advance to the quarter-final stage of the Carabao Cup. And, not an easy draw. Unfortunately, we did draw Man City in the next round, so that's just our luck, whereas I think Tottenham have got Stoke.
I mean, Man City aren't doing too great with their defence, so I think you need to be high pressing on Man City, in my opinion. Because
but yeah, essentially Leno kind of redeemed himself in that game because he wasn't great in the Liverpool match. Dodgy pass, that almost led to a goal. I just think I'm still on the fence about him being better than Martinez. I miss Martinez.
That's
now.
the thing as well. With Martinez gone, he hasn't got that competition with him now to perform better.
Well, we have Runarsson and we have Macy. Runarsson, I don't know anything about. He's a new goalkeeper that we signed, Icelandic, I think. God knows if he's any good or not. But essentially, with Martinez and Leno, we had two world-class keepers that were vying for the same spot. And in that sense, that would have made them want to up both of their games.
Yeah, of course.
So now that they've removed one from that equation, Leno is going to probably rest on his laurels and think, well, clearly I'm the better keeper because they've sold Martinez, so I don't need to improve in many facets. But I just think Martinez was a better goalkeeper than Leno in the air, dealing with crosses. He's better at playing out from the back. Although I will say Leno, like I said, he redeemed himself in the Carabao Cup game, made some terrific saves during the game. One particular from Diego Jota.
Yeah,
who's Liverpool's new sign from Wolves, and then some terrific saves in the penalty shootout.
Yeah.
I just want to say Ainsley Maitland-Niles, though, is the coolest man on the planet.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned. Did you see his penalty?
I didn't watch any of the game. I mean, I got a bit of stick for watching the other game, but we won't go into that.
We won't go into that. Fair dues.
You really laid into me. I was like, sorry. I was bored, so I decided to watch the game. I wasn't rival watching.
Kieran, it was just banter.
No,
in the words of Richard Keys,
it hurt my feelings.
Yeah. So what Maitland-Niles did, he did this in the Charity Shield. Can't call it Charity Shield anymore. Community Shield match against Liverpool, which we also won on penalties, where he done a little fake out kind of run up, where he stopped and then just slotted it into, made Adrian go the complete wrong way. And then afterwards, the camera zooms in on his expression, and he's got this massive grin on his face, and then looks back at Adrian like, yeah, I totally just did that.
Let me just see if I can get something up quick of Maitland-Niles' grin. See if that's on there. Is it?
Just look up, if you go on arsenalist.com, it will have his penalty.
How do you spell that? Arsenalist.com. Oh, I feel like I'm walking into enemy territory right here. I mean, there's just a picture of a monkey. All right, let's go on to
so if you go on that, it'll be underneath. If you scroll down, you'll have his penalty.
Which one?
It's free aim AMN.
Oh,
down that one. Yeah. Just watch this penalty and then look at the expression that he makes on his face afterwards.
All right, let's go. I love that away kit, by the way.
Oh yes, it's really grown on me, that one. So look, little stop, little fake out. And he's like, he turns around, he's like, yeah, I totally just did that.
He did it like a whole Kanye West face change, didn't he?
Essentially, yeah. But I'm happy with that result. Liverpool, even with their, they still had Salah. Adrian's still a good keeper. People, the naysayers will point out, well, it was Liverpool's under-21s. It wasn't our full strength team either.
No, by all means. The losing team, although, I'm the kind of football fan that if we lose, I'll say, good game whatsoever. But if something is there that shouldn't have happened, I will call it. Whether it is my club, whether it is not. And that leads into, Yes.
That is a great segue into our next topic.
So, on the other side, we didn't have the best start to the weekend last week. So, I think in terms of the performance of Spurs, I think there was a lot of pressing. If it wasn't for Newcastle's goalkeeper, because he made some miraculous saves and he was the man of the match by far. I still think we should have gone beyond that first goal, and safeguarded ourselves a bit more, because you can't carry a whole game all the time with 1-0. It's just impossible. Don't park the bus. Just keep on pressing. I think in terms of Newcastle's attack, it wasn't there until the very end of the game. So anyway, that I don't think that excuses the decision that was made right at the end of the game, where so there was a free kick which I think shouldn't have been given anyway, because one of their players knocked straight into Højbjerg, and then they were like, foul, Højbjerg, you're in the way, free kick, Newcastle. It's like, really? So if VAR went further back and looked at that, they would have ruled out that penalty opportunity wouldn't have been given anyway if it wasn't for the free kick, but I digress. So then it gets the free kick comes in, Andy Carroll headers it, Eric Dyer's facing away from the ball, and the ball hits his arm. It's there, isn't it? Or no?
Yeah, essentially he had his arms in
a natural sort of
jumping position, right? But he can't do anything about it, right?
Yeah.
This may sound like sour grapes to a lot of people from you, KB, because your team drew in the last minute. But even as an Arsenal fan, I totally empathise with your plight, because it's a ridiculous rule.
It is,
Eric Dyer, Andy Carroll essentially heads into the ball into the back of Eric Dyer's body, so he can't do anything about it, right?
But I saw in the Arsenal, sorry, just to interject, I saw in the Arsenal game with that, Diego Jota goal, and it hit his arm, and nothing was given about that. But if that happened to any other player, it would be ruled as a handball.
So, I know, but it's kind of, we'd still deserve to lose that game, to be fair. We got battered, but that's still just the rule, the rule is an arse, as they say, as the expression goes.
And
it's not VAR. VAR is, I feel like it could be a useful thing in the game, but it's still not being implemented correctly.
Yeah,
and the handball rule is an absolute joke.
Yeah, because it's just it's a handball, even if it's unintentional. Whoever thought that up, we saw it in the Maccabi Haifa game. Doherty, I don't know who's got a fucking target on top of his head, but it was against the Southampton game when the ball was kicked into his arm there when he had it out. So that was a penalty given to Southampton. And then in the Maccabi Haifa game, where his arm was literally by his body, he was blocking his body from being hit. Naturally, you'd want to protect your ribs from getting hit by a football. Otherwise, you could suffer some cracked ribs. But that was also the penalty. And then to be honest, we got a penalty afterwards, and his arm was there. So, both ways, it was pretty bad calls on that. Well, not necessarily bad calls, because it is the rules, but yeah, the rules in themselves need to have some sort of revision.
But it's like, if players' arms have to be in a natural position, right, and you're not allowed to have your arms anywhere above your thing whilst you're jumping to get more momentum, then everyone will just be like March of the Penguins.
I know, yeah.
Where they would just be like, and that's even more unnatural than actually having your hands up whilst you're jumping. It's just it's a ridiculous, Jamie Carragher. Right?
Yes, Jamie Carragher. Sorry.
Jamie Carragher. He's not very happy about this.
It's an absolute joke. Absolute joke.
That's Michael Owen. No, to be fair, that's almost what he said, just in a Scouse accent, because I'm not sure what accent that was. It's an absolute disgrace, an absolute joke. Eric Dyer jumps to the ball, has no control of where his arms are going to be. It was a header half a yard away from him, hits him on the back of the arm. He has no idea what's going on. Whether it's the Premier League, the FA, FIFA, Pierluigi Collina, whoever is involved in this, stop it, because you're ruining football for everybody. Absolute joke. You've got more trouble on your hands, Premier League, FIFA, UEFA, whoever's involved. Change this now. I mean, that's coming from a guy with 20 years of experience in football.
Because from the other side of it, you think, like, I get that they're trying to make handballs more of a noticeable thing, but at the same time, how long until that is going to be abused, that people are going to aim for people's arms or anything along with that sort of rule? So, you kind of...
People are just going to be like, right, lads, we've got a last minute, we're 1-0 down. We need to get in their box. Just basically try and kick it against one of their arms or their hands in the box. Then we'll get a penalty.
Yeah, just...
there has to be a threshold, like a grey line.
If someone reaches out and like tries to block it with their hand, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's call that a foul because that's intentional. But if someone kicks it into someone's hand,
you see, Gary Neville brings up an interesting point as well. In terms of balance, right? When you're jumping, I've been there as a defender. You have to have your arms out by your side. You have to be balanced. Your arms have to be extended away from your body. They have to be.
Yeah,
it's absolutely impossible.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the contrarians saying that it was in a natural position. Look, whether it was like more unnatural than not, he couldn't see the ball. That's the big thing, and that actually is ruled. That's in the rules as well, isn't it? Like, if you can't see the ball, it shouldn't be ruled as a handball, in a sense.
Speaking of contrarians, Graham Souness. It's the new rules. It's harsh. This is ridiculously harsh, but these are the new rules. You can berate the referee, but he's only carrying out the rules that are in place. Like we said, it's not VAR itself. VAR is a good thing. It's the handball rule that needs to change.
Yeah. Nobody's saying the ref is bad or VAR is bad. They're saying that the rule is bad because it ruins the sport.
Yeah.
But
anyway, to put a bookend on that, it was still funny because it's Tottenham Hotspur.
Fuck you. No. Well, saying that, I'd say we redeemed ourselves in the Carabao Cup.
I didn't watch that game. What was the score again?
So it was 1-1. I think Chelsea was all over us in the first half. For the first 20 minutes, I'd say we were playing pretty deep, and then I think there was a fire that lit under our bellies, and then we just pushed them back. And even Jedson Fernandez almost got a shot at goal. New boy Sergio Reguilon thought he was on a water slide when trying to get one of their players. And then that player just passed straight to Timo Werner, and then he scored the first goal. So it wasn't until like the 80th minute we were pushing them so much, and then it was eventually... and somebody said, actually, before I say how the goal happened, was that it was good that Harry Kane came on because defenders felt they needed to mark Kane. So as soon as Reguilon came into the box, he crossed over, and then straight into Eric Lamela, and Eric Lamela just entered it straight into the corner of the goal. And, what's his name? The new guy. What's the new goalkeeper called? Chelsea's goalkeeper? Edouard Mendy, that's the one. He couldn't save that no matter what. He's just way too far away. So there was that, and then on penalties, Mason Mount was the one who missed the last penalty out of Chelsea. And
it was, actually, I did know that.
Yeah. And
he's a good little player, Mason Mount. He's definitely one to watch. You know?
It's unlucky for him. I know it hurts and stuff, and we battled it out. And I thought that was one of Tottenham's, like, we didn't play our complete first team, so that was a good thing as well. To see a lot of other players trying to prove themselves and things like that.
Well, you've got a big enough squad. I tell you, incidentally, do you see you've signed another player?
Oh yeah,
today?
I'll get onto that, but
all right, okay.
I
just feel like you're signing the entire world now, whereas we're haggling over this defensive midfield creative midfielder issue, which I think we need. I think basically
You got
all we
Awa.
need
You're
now.
getting Awa now, aren't you? Or have you got him?
Well, no. All we need now, our deal and the Partey deal are still kind of up in the air. But basically, all we need are one or two more creative midfielders, maybe a DM, and a good striker, right? And that's basically, I'll be happy with that, right? If we, we've been into so many seasons where we've fallen short of the required players. And I just don't, I feel like Arteta, I trust in him. I think he knows what he's doing, but we need to get these deals over the line.
But like always, the manager needs to be backed. And I think, I don't think Levy backed Pochettino as much as he's backed Jose. Because from what I've heard, Jose is the manager that Levy wanted. So I think he doesn't want Jose to fall short or anything like that. I think he wants to provide Jose with what he needs, what he didn't get at Man U. And that's what I was going to say as well. I mean, you may be longing for a lot of these players, but you can't be as bad as Man U's transfer window right now. I think it's just abysmal. But I digress. But I got to say,
I think Man U are definitely in disarray, and basically the only thing that's saving them at the moment are the inexplicable penalties that they're getting every single game. Some rises in the morning, sets in the evening. Man United get a penalty, the earth rotates on its axis.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's pretty much what happens.
But I will say the highlight of the match was by far this little gem right here.
Because Eric Dyer
I haven't seen this
has raced off the pitch in order to use the facilities for a comfort break.
When do you ever hear of that happening?
Is trying to take as long as possible.
Was that Mourinho going to get Eric Dyer? Look, game started.
Or he's like, no, you're not. I'll wipe your ass for you.
Here comes there you go. Again.
Back on.
Must have been absolutely desperate for him.
And
so they were playing 10 men all the way up to that point. Hey, you know what? If you got to go, you got to go.
That's as said there. I don't think he'll ever live that down. But I think he owns it as well, so that's good from him.
Well, I just remember a Southampton game, right? They had a striker called Jason Punchin who did a similar thing. Right? Yeah. And he came out late for the second half, and the chant from the fans was, "He went for a shit. He went for a shit. Jason Punchin, he went for a shit."
I've seen pictures of because Eric Dyer I think he got man of the match, and there's just a picture of the man of the match trophy on top of a toilet seat. It's
outstanding.
Brilliant.
Anyway, shall we move on to? Were you going to talk about your new signing, or shall we move on to the Europa League?
I'll briefly talk about that. So I think the biggest thing in the transfer window, we sorted out the defensive midfielder, because since Wanyama left, we just haven't had anything there. So we got that. I can't rely on Aurier, but I will say this: since Doherty's come in, Aurier has really stepped up. He's been really good in the last few games. So got a hand props to him. He might. Unless Doherty shines up, because he hasn't been that great, but I do trust him. He's trying to fit into a new system. I accept that, and I understand that. But Aurier is proving to be very good competition for him. So we got that sorted. Then what was the next one?
Vinicius, wasn't it?
Oh, Vinicius. Yeah, Carlos Vinicius is the latest one, but I'll get onto him. Then there was Joe Hart. Yeah, we've got more competition for the goalies. Whether you like Joe Hart.
Did he play in against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup?
No, he played against Maccabi Haifa. He made some good saves, to be fair, but I think he had an averagely good game, I suppose.
He was kind of. At Burnley, he was kind of thrown to the dogs a bit. He was hardly playing. But
yeah, I think Pep really kind of knocked him down a few pegs, didn't he? Because he just did not fit Pep's ideal.
Yeah. But then he went to Burnley and barely played.
Yeah, and I think Tottenham's just I think they play him above Gazaniga, so I imagine Gazaniga will want to go somewhere else soon. Although Gazaniga he's not as old, so you never know. Then we got Sergio Reguilon. It's just I never know how, because he showed a video of how to pronounce his name, but it was such in a Spanish accent that I still didn't know how to pronounce it. So there's that, and after his debut, I think he's going to be an absolute belter for that left back position that we've been longing for, because we have Ben Davis, and I say Ben Davis is decent. He's solid and stuff like that. And since Reguilon's come on, he's stepped up as well. So I'm happy about that. And then the almighty Gareth Bale, which we've talked about so much, and he's been training with Tottenham. He's refused to. He's been left out of the Wales squad. So to continue on training with Tottenham, I feel like that's probably where he's going to be more comfortable for now, and reduce any risks of injuries at the moment. And then Carlos Vinicius is the latest one. So this is the biggest one that we've wanted to get for so long. This striker, because Harry Kane, he's got no competition up front. Troy Parrott left on a loan to Millwall. And, without Kane, we haven't got any proper target man, someone who can just aim right where they need to aim. And so getting this person in who, in his own league, which, bear in mind, the Portugal league isn't the best one. So, it's only rare chances like Bruno Fernandes or someone like that really step up in the Premier League. Carlos has scored quite a few. I think he scored 24 goals in the last season, so he's the top goal scorer last season, which is really good. So I don't think I want to say anything until I see him play, but it's really good to give Harry Kane a rest and give him. It's another option as well,
And
exactly.
Heung-min Song's out for a bit, isn't he?
No, he's playing. There was a thing this morning that said that he's playing against Man U, so he must have just pulled his hamstring or something. So get him back on your Premier League team.
Yeah, you know what? It was so annoying. I had him as in my goal scorer of the week challenge, where it's a game online where you pick one player per week to be your goal scorer for that weekend, and you can't pick him ever again throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah,
I picked Heung-min Song on that weekend that he was injured and didn't even play.
Yeah.
So thanks, Son. Thanks for that. Right, Europa League.
Ah, yes, Europa. All right, let's get it up. So Europa League. Tottenham had such a heavy schedule for Europa League because they had to win 3 qualifying.
You play about 300 games.
I know. The first one I was really worried about because the mentality of our team at that moment was just not the best. I think we were just like worrying about so much, and then Ndombele came on and saved the game. So we're happy about that. There's still people who believe. And then Maccabi Haifa, we just did a repeat of Bayern Munich last year. So
you decimated them, yeah.
There was, I think, one of them we couldn't save. That was like a spot kick into the top half corner. So I don't blame Hart for not saving that. And the other one was, like I said earlier, the bullshit penalty from Doherty. But anyway,
one of the Haifa players wasn't digging up the penalty spot, was he, to prevent anything like in the?
I don't think he can on
the game before that, the Bulgarian game.
Yeah, but I think we have to. Our first game in the Europa, I think we have to go back to Bulgaria. So hold on to your hats, gents.
Oh, Ludogorets, yes.
Yeah. So I'll just bring up the stage draw. So you've got Rapid Vienna.
Yeah, we have Rapid Vienna, Mold, and Dundalk.
Do you know any?
So Mold, I believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managed before going to Man United. So there's a connection there.
Right, okay. Are they like a Netherlands team then, or?
No, they're from Norway.
Oh, right, okay.
And Dundalk are in Ireland. Okay. And there's a great podcast that I listen to called OSW Review. Shout out to them. 3 Irish lads who review wrestling and sometimes movies as well. They have an in-joke about a character they created called Crocodile Dundalk, which is a pun on Crocodile Dundee. And when I saw that we'd drawn Dundalk, who we've never played in our history, I marked out. And I was just like, oh my God, we're playing Crocodile Dundalk in the Europa League. Rapid Vienna, I believe we've only played like twice before, but that back in like the early 90s. And we beat them like 5-0 at Highbury. And that was in the days of Alan Smith, Anders Limpar, Andy Linnigan, I think, even scored, under George Graham. But I don't know, like, essentially, if we don't get through this group, we don't really deserve to go anywhere, really. And I'm hoping this is finally going to be the year where we break through in the Europa League, because the Olympiacos thing was a disaster, right? It was an absolute disaster. My sister went to that game with her mate, and she said it was like one of the worst games she's ever seen. And we lost in the last minute on away goals to Olympiacos. Who I'm not dissing them, but really, that's a team we should be beating comfortably.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously the year before that, under Emery.
Rob. Oh, I think Rob has
Got all the way to the final. I'm still here.
Oh, sorry.
Hello?
He froze out then. I don't know what happened.
Did I?
Yeah.
So where did I get up to?
I don't know.
We can edit this out. It's fine now.
Okay.
So I talked about the groups, and if we don't go through, we don't go all the way. Did I say it? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, under Arteta, lost to Olympiacos, absolute shit show. Lost on away goals last minute in the following round after we qualified our group. The year before that, under Emery, got all the way to the final and capitulated in horrific fashion to Chelsea. And Hazard played the game of his life before he moved to Real Madrid. They had nothing Chelsea had a horrific season, right? And they had nothing to play for because Sarri was going to move on.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And of course, the one brilliant game they had was against us. And to this day, I blame Ozil and Iwobi together.
Oh, I saw so much scrutiny over Ozil when that game was happening. Just like
that was the game. That was the game for me that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm totally done with you.
Like it reminds me of the Spurs Champions League advancement and stuff, and we had so many. I think we had so many miraculous things happening. We especially that semi-final against Ajax, and then just the final just left me in such a rut because it was just like we pulled out all these different stops against Man City, Dortmund, and all these teams, and then when we get to Liverpool,
that Man City game was insane.
Oh, I love that game so much, and I especially loved that our lone striker was the one who scored the winning goal.
I know, but anyway, your group.
Yeah, so our group, we've got. I don't know much about them. We've got Tottenham, Ludogorets, Lask, and Antwerp. I've heard the names. But
Ludogorets was actually probably the last game I can think of where Ozil really, really shined.
Yeah,
I mean that's probably unfair to say because he was good in the not this cup final against Chelsea that already went, but the one before where it was one of Arsene Wenger's last hurrahs. Well, it was his last hurrah. It was the last trophy he won with us. Ozil had an outstanding game, but like the year or two before that. We played against Ludogorets in the Champions League, and or it might have been the Europa League, I can't remember, but Ozil absolutely tore him a new one. It's one of the best goals I've seen, just on his own, leaving defenders lying in a heap. Yeah. But they're from Bulgaria. Lask, I don't know anything about. I'm going to have to look them up. And Antwerp are Belgian.
Yeah, that reminded me of they look like a Belgian team. So they probably.
So apparently, Lask are it's Linzer Athletic Sport Club, which are an Austrian football club.
So we've okay. So we're gonna have to keep our wits about us in this group, I think.
I don't think so. This should be easy for you, really. I just don't want to get you lot after we both qualify.
You know what it's like. In terms of playing against these sort of teams. Keeping our guard down, and then something happens, and then we're like, how did we lose that? It's happened. I've seen it happen in the past, and I think no matter what, you need to just keep up spirits and things like that, without creating too much risk for yourself, really.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
but yeah, essentially, I want to win it this year.
Same
I
here.
feel like we might have potential to finish in the top 4 this year, but there's a lot of competition. I feel like this is the easiest route. And it boggles my mind how we still haven't won this silly little tin pot competition with all these teams in.
Yeah, Jose said that he didn't want to really focus that much on the Carabao Cup, and then he said after the game, after that win, boys, we have to win this now.
Yeah, you have to win it now. Yeah, I
'Cause,
don't
like,
blame you.
It was a bit of a dedication to Leighton, because like I feel so sorry for them for having to pull out and stuff. It's such heartbreak, and I felt bad. I felt bad that we got.
It can't be held really. I will say, right, for as much as I hate Tottenham Hotspur, right, it was an amazing gesture, right, from their fans to pull together and buy some Leighton Orient shirts and stuff. I saw that.
Yeah, I think no matter what,
they raised a lot of money through shirt sales for the club to compensate for their missed fixture. So I got to say, fair play to Tottenham Hotspur. You won't get many plaudits from me about them, but there you go.
Yeah.
Right, shall we move on to? Right now, we have either my anagrams that I had the hangover from last week because I didn't get round to doing them because we were so wrapped up in our download lineup, or we could do a new Reddit-based round.
Yeah. So we've got. I'm trying to think. You know what? Let's do anagrams first, and then we'll see. I mean, we're not as bad as last week with the amount of time we took to get through. all of that.
We took so long on that download lineup. I tell you,
Oh my God.
I promise we'll try and be a bit more frugal with our time going forward.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it is what it is, really. You know, but I think
so
people will invest.
So yeah, anagrams. Yeah. So KB essentially assigned me a metal band to do anagrams for. This time around, it was the legendary thrash metal band, RIP, Slayer. I've only ever seen Slayer once, and my abiding memory of that was it was at Sonosphere 2014, and I accidentally kicked the heel of a guy who was wearing steel toe cap boots, and pretty much my toenail was black for several weeks afterwards.
Well, that's got to be a band name or something. Black Toenail.
Black Toenail. Ugh. Sounds like some weird sort of disgusting gore grind kind of band. KB, have you ever seen Slayer live?
I've only seen them live at the same show as you, Sonosphere, and obviously I had to, for like seeing Tool live, I picked them over Slayer's last tours.
I also picked Tool. It might be sacrilege to a lot of metalheads out there, but I also picked Tool ahead of seeing Slayer, just because I'd seen Slayer before. You know, and Tool, it's one of those instances where it's a once in a lifetime thing. They're probably never going to come back to the UK ever again. Yeah,
that's what I thought as well. And you know, I've seen Slayer already, but I love the band with all my heart. It's lovely, lovely jubbly. They write such wholesome music, and I can't get enough of it.
Slayer, nice wholesome music about Satan and the devil, and jihadism and all sorts of stuff. Yes, so I decided for the anagrams to go for the classic Rain in Blood era lineup. So we'll start with Kerry King. This was actually quite a hard one. I only found one anagram.
Really?
This.
Well, let's hope this is a good one then.
And I also had to put in his middle name, which is Ray, to get this out.
Okay.
But I'll set the scene. Say you're a North London football club who plays in white in a stadium shaped like a toilet bowl, and you have a strange, perverse fascination with Leicester player Damari Gray. The thing you would probably say is Gray, kinky.
Or Kinky Gray.
Yeah, or kinky, Gray.
We'd be like, Bale, Kinky.
Yeah. So that is Kerry Ray King. It is Gray, kinky. Jeff Hanneman, the late great Jeff Hanneman, who passed away a few years ago now. You're wandering through a marshland and you come across a chicken, right? This chicken has a peculiar love of conserves. Cherry is his personal favorite. Very rich in potassium and folic acid. But anyway, therefore, Fenhen Jam Fan.
Fenhen Jam Fang. I'm gonna jam it.
So there's a hen wandering through the fens, but he's also a jam fan.
Isn't there someone on the Mosh Talks called Jam? Should we tell him that there's a chicken, a fan of him?
No, it's my mate Jam from the Scrub Force. I'll let him know about that.
Hey, Jam, guess what? You attract all the cock.
No, no, you had to go there every week. You had to do this.
Well, I'm talking about a chicken.
Also, he could alternatively be a fan of the Paul Weller-led group, the Paul Weller-led mod group from the late 70s, early 80s. But anyway, so that's Jeff Hanneman. I also did Jeffrey Hanneman. And so there's this girl, right, who has a particular fascination with denim shorts. She wears them all the time.
On TikTok,
she wanders home after a particularly bleak night out. Her name's Jenny, right? When she arrives, she's greeted by the townsfolk who serenade her and sing all of her praises. And this could be called a Hem Jenny fanfare.
Jenny Stong.
It takes me a while to come up with these, man. It takes me a while to come up with these fucking stories, man. I hope you appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate how it flows through, and my imagination goes wild.
Yeah, I know. We should do animations for these, if I do say so myself.
What, any of your friends animators?
No, not as far as I know. Get freelance animators, and we'll see what they can do with these. Tom Araya, legendary frontman, bass player, love of going in a very high pitched voice. Yeah, a bit like that. No stories for you. I just cut straight to the chase. You can either have Rome Atchia.
What's Rome Atchia?
Yeah, so ROAMATYA.
Rome Atchia. Back at you, babe.
Yeah. So say Metallica, I guess, play Wherever I'm in Rome. Directly in your face. It would be Rome Atchia.
That will be their next virtual gig.
Absolutely. Or say a particular breed of rodent falls into a bucket of particular sauce, white sauce, right?
Okay.
And then comes out drenched in it.
Just
it would
sauce.
Be a mayo rat.
Mayo rat. A lap rat.
A mayo rat. Now, Dave Lombardo, I found several for Dave Lombardo. I picked out some of my favorites because his name is very anagrammable. I know that's not a word, but that should be. So, Dave Lombardo, you can have Dad, Marvel, boo.
Yeah, Dad. I thought you liked Batman. Told you to make me a Superman cape for Christmas.
Yeah, you can. So, alternatively, if he comes in with a particular spot on his face and you praise him for it, you can have Mole Dad, bravo. Yeah, I know. It only goes downhill from here. Say you're in a particularly rowdy mood on a night out and you want to live it up, drink, and you get praised for it. You'll be praised by someone saying, bravo, lad mode.
Yeah, we're lads, boys. Dave Lombardo, welcome to Lad Bible.
Yeah. Alternatively, bravado model.
Bravado model.
So I guess if you're brave and you were a model professional at being brave, you would be a bravado model, I guess.
Eat your heart out, Vogue.
Now, say you're in a church, right? And you have a vicar who's follically challenged. You would be in a bald rev mood.
Bald rev mood? What, so I'd be Kerry King?
Is he a reverend?
Oh,
he should be
reverend.
Ordained.
Oh, can you imagine? Kerry King is now taking a new role in Faith No More.
He should be ordained. Yeah, Faith No More. Very good. He should be ordained as a minister of some sort. Yeah. Just can you imagine the uproar from all the people who are like, yes, Satan Slayer. Suddenly he becomes like a Christian Orthodox priest or something.
Ooh,
be quite something.
Bring it out.
And finally, if you're in the Eastern Bloc, right, just under Romania, and you were follically prominent, shall we say, on your face, that would be your Moldova beard. which I'm trying to grow myself. I'm trying to grow a Moldova beard myself. But anyway, that's the end of all that nonsense. That's the end of all that nonsense. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That's our anagrams. Listen to this. Should we get on that?
Yeah. So all good. Right. Listen to this. So I listened to the first one. Oh no, we've got a wee listen, haven't we, Rob?
Yes.
So 94.
Have we? I don't know.
Yes, we have.
Yes.
You will listen to
Yes,
it.
we have.
You will like it, and you will love it. So the same person liked our. I think he liked it. Our Amaranth reaction. So he's left us another one.
Thank you to Janek for submitting that suggestion. I really liked it. It was good stuff.
Yeah. So we've got a band here called Leaves Eyes. I've never heard of this band myself, so I can't really say much on them. Let's just get something quick up, just so we can not dribble on. They're a German symphonic metal band from Germany and Norway, formed in 2003 by Liv Christine, the former lead singer of Theatre of Tragedy and the entire lineup of Atrocity. Also, I don't know anything of that nature. So, okay, symphonic metal. So, pretty much sort of the similar part of last week. So,
yeah, similar thing to Amaranth, I'm guessing.
Okay, well, I'm going to go and get it up on Spotify. And
what's the song? What's the song called?
The song is called "Chain of the Golden Horn."
Missus.
Careful on.
I had a golden horn once. It was quite painful, but we won't get into that.
Did you piss yourself or something?
Oh, dis. I'm sorry, Leaves Eyes. I'm sure that wasn't your intention, but I just had to make it that way because that's how I am.
It was an accident.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So right. So after 3, then presumably we're going to play it together.
Absolutely.
Right then. So thank you again for the suggestion, Janik. I appreciate it. This is "Chain of the Golden Horn" by the band Leaves Eyes. And 3, 2, 1, go.
What's this remind me of already?
Sounds like it should be in Lord of the Rings or something.
It sounds like a symphonic version of the air race from Kirby.
Yeah. It's very I can find myself drinking a pint of mead to this in a sort of in a longboat. Very Viking sounding.
Yeah. It's a Tyre. Is it Tarja or Tyre? I can't remember.
What is Tyre?
Her name. Nightwish.
Oh. Why is Tyre? I don't know. I haven't listened to Nightwish, but
Dab Marvel Boo. This is interesting.
There we go. There's the Amonimar Viking vocals coming in.
This is the woman.
Good. This is going to be. I'll tell you what. This is going to be good drinking music.
Yeah.
I can tell. It has that sort of skull. You know, Dan, our mate Dan, he has a horn.
Oh, we
like
should
a Viking horn to drink from during festivals. This will go very well with that sort of aesthetic, shall we say?
I do love the drum beat. It reminds me of Churi's Ass.
Generally, I mean, I really don't listen to this sort of stuff at all. You know?
No, neither do I really.
I can definitely find merit in this stuff.
It kind of got that sort of epica vibe with it.
Delane maybe as well.
It's got fans also like Visions of Atlantis, Lunatica, and then Delane.
I always like when symphonic metal bands or power metal bands are dynamic enough to include growls. You know, just to sort of break up the kind of melodramatic nature of the songs that they present. You know,
absolutely.
Kind of makes it feel a bit less on the nose. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I for this sort of music, I prefer kind of like more thicker vocals, I suppose.
Bang, and here's the solo.
There we go.
Very nice.
It's either a monomarth or
It does remind me of a monomarth. Yeah, I don't know if that's a sort of facetious thing to say just because it's death growls within like a power metal song, but that's the name I kind of always go back to when I think of that sort of style.
Yeah.
Here we go, clap your hands.
Try not to make any sound effects.
It's so weird, like a wet clap that doesn't actually connect properly.
Listen to the waves.
This melody is going to be stuck in my head, to be in fairness.
You're gonna have your conductor stick with you at all times. Like,
I do wonder if there's any concepts to be aligned with this tune, like if it's going to be part of a concept album.
right at the end. Alley-oop.
She got the hiccups at the very end just
It's
then.
like, thank you.
Oh, well, there we go. That was Chain of the Golden Horn by Leaves Eyes. KB, your initial thoughts on that tune?
I love the rhythm and the beat, and I love the anthemic vibe from it. I'm not knocking the vocals, like they're good vocals. It just sounds talented, but they're not my cup of tea when it comes to what vocals I prefer when listening to this sort of music. So yeah, that's essentially me. And I think it was certainly different when the growls came in. It was a bit kind of like it was on one side of the scale and then it immediately moved over to the other. So I don't think there was enough of a blend there.
I like the solo, and I feel like the emphasis on that one was a lot more on vocals than riffage. There wasn't any particular riffs in that one that kind of stood out. So it was kind of very gallopy.
Yeah, it was just like a sort of solid all the way through sort of thing.
Yeah, like it was kind of trundling along at pace, you know. But good sort of jaunty, uplifting sounding, you know. Good, like I said, if you're a LARPer, you know, this would be my pre-drink LARP song.
Running around shouting lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
Yeah, essentially. It was all right.
Yeah,
it was all right.
I mean,
again,
when it comes to like fan recommendations, it can either be like, oh wow, this is I'm glad someone suggested to me, or it can be like, it's good.
So we have Nitsuj in the chat who says, I don't know how to word it, but the growl didn't feel grounded to me.
In what
integrated,
way
maybe. I think
yeah,
probably is the word that you're looking for. Yeah, it's sort of very kind of, we need a growl in this bit. Let's put a growl there.
Yeah, it just kind of felt a bit randomly placed. And it didn't really.
But I
mix
like
in
that.
well.
I like the fact that a symphonic metal band will be dynamic enough to change up their vocals once in a while, because the sort of power metal, the thing that puts me off about symphonic or power metal is the melodramatic nature of it, and if there's just one kind of continuous vocal self-radical, it kind of gets on my nerves a bit.
I just think, like, I listened to a fair bit of Epica, and I think in terms of where they both are on that map, Epica just seem like a hell of a large step up in terms of just quality songwriting and stuff like that. Although saying that, I've only listened to like one song. It could be different, but like from what
I don't know how long Leaves Eyes have been going on for.
It's 2003.
2003. Wow, they've been going on for a while then.
I mean,
because I was going to file this one under has potential, but if they've been going since 2003, then and they still have potential, I don't know. Maybe it's not for me. You know?
Fair enough.
But I can find a lot of merit in that tune. I like the solo, like I said. I like the dynamicism. That's not a word, is it?
Dynamicism, yeah.
Is that a word? Oh, whatever. I like the dynamics of the vocals, and she's got a good voice, you know. And I just would have liked a bit more hooks in the riffage.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, that's fair enough. So that was Leaves Eyes with I I had an accident. No, what was it called again? Chain of the Golden Horn.
I'm sorry, that I had an accident. I mean, to be fair, if you had a chain up your golden horn, that would be construed as a bit of an accident.
I don't want to chain up anything down there.
Yeah, so that was Chain of the Golden Horn by Leaves Eyes. Thank you so much for that recommendation again, Janet. We really appreciate it. Keep them coming.
Yeah. Anyway, so Rob, I think because I listened to your song the second time last week after your song, it'll go. Shall I go first with your song recommendation?
What, my recommendation for you?
Yes.
Awesome. Right. I can't wait to talk about this band. I remember at Download a few years ago when we did the vlog, 2018, and there was a sequence in your vlog where we went into a tent to see a band called Malevolance. And you never heard of this band.
No.
And I popped my head in and was like, I have. They're awesome. And then popped my head back out again. Would you recall much of Malevolence from that festival?
They were quite loud actually, but in a good way. And I think in terms of like, I've got them on my playlist, so you know there'll always be a Malevolent song that comes on. And I love that southern groove they have in their music as well.
That's what immediately attracted me to them was slam metal. I guess you could call it slam metal meets kind of southern groove.
Yeah, I'd say
it has riffs. For slam metal, it's not just dun 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 dun. It has proper riffs and proper groove in the riffs, and it has dirty, low-sung Crowbar and Selmo-esque cleans.
Yeah.
You know, which are provided by their guitar player, and I'll get onto that later. Great hardcore band from Sheffield. So they're UK based. Mm-hmm. I hope this band can go really far. And making a statement, I would say, right, with this tune that I'm giving you right now, which is called The Other Side.
Yeah. So I haven't listened to... Yeah. So when did this album come out? Was it this year?
This is from an EP called The Other Side.
Right, okay.
Which they released. I was hoping it was going to be a full album, but on this EP they had... Keep Your Distance, which featured Brian Garris from Knocked Loose.
Oh, okay.
So very much a kind of hardcore sort of song.
Okay.
With his distinctive, idiosyncratic, kind of high-pitched... If you've ever listened to Knocked Loose, it's very much an acquired taste, his vocals. Very high-pitched.
Yeah.
Kind of hardcore style vocals. But great tune. Remain Unbeaten is the other song that's on that, which is equally goes as hard. But the track I want to draw your attention to is the title track from this EP called The Other Side. Just give you a bit more background on Malevolence. They put themselves on the map with their 2013 debut album, The Wonderfully Punishing Reign of Suffering, regarded as something of a hardcore classic. It was a fine example of metallic hardcore, but they were only to better it. Their 2017 album, Self Supremacy, which I own and is a fantastic record. If you've ever seen the single Self Supremacy, the video to that single, it's hilarious because they're properly chavving it up. Like they're riding around on like Yamaha motorcycles, and you have the police Fiats in the background, the very British police Fiats, and it contrasts so brilliantly with the style of music, which sounds so American and so like almost Pantera-esque in that song.
Yeah.
It offered a broader sound, Self Supremacy, by expanding on their roots. Heavier and more accessible, it lent on slower breakdowns and rapid lead guitar work while being shot through with melody, creating another jewel in the band's crown. And picking up where the album left off, they're continuing their evolution with The Other Side EP, which was released this year. Now, they have used the time since Self Supremacy to nurture their propensity for a melody. This is from the Kerrang review. And it shows in The Other Side's eponymous closer. There's certainly a slice of gorgonzola in the doorstep sandwich of metalcore balladry. That is the best sentence I've ever read, can I just say? But repositioned as, say, track 8 of LP number 3, The Other Side could serve as a respite from the heaviness, as well as irresistible lighter bait. Live. As in that. I will leave that for now. and I just want to get your reaction to this song.
Right. Okay. On it. So I got it up in front of me. So whenever on go, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, comes in pretty quiet.
Now, you're familiar with Malevolance to an extent, right? And what they usually sound like.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts right out the gate?
I feel like they go in to surprise me right now. Like, as in, it's not going to start as light. It's not going to finish as light as this.
I absolutely love this lead guitar line here.
I'm just going to turn it up a little bit because it's... There we go.
There's something very Metallica about this lead guitar line. Like Fade to Black or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see what you mean, yeah. Is this just going to be an instrumental?
No, they will get into it in a minute.
Okay.
I love that intro though.
I do dig it so far. Oh! This is not the Malevolence I remember from previously.
No, it's not.
Still good though.
So this guy who's singing this at the moment, he's the guitar player, and it's Conan Hall, his name is, and he usually does the kind of southern growls that you get, and I just love the viscosity of that southern drawl in his delivery, you know?
Yeah. Oh wow. If he can sing like this, then I totally support him singing in the next album.
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Jason's voice from Bury Tomorrow in that sort of sense.
Anthemic, right?
Really, yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
Now, like I said, this is very much a departure for them in terms of their sound. It's more power ballady in a way.
Oh yeah.
But it's so effective. You know, Five Finger Death Punch wish they could write a song like this.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna listen to this EP after this.
Man, it's so good, right?
Yeah.
There's something so atmospheric about it. If you ever watch the video, it does put you in that mood as well.
Oh yeah.
It's something so atmospheric, and so it puts you in a specific time and place, which I think all great music does. And you know, I can relate to what he's singing about. You know, about they say all wounds will heal with time, but I've been waiting. You know, that really struck a nerve with me.
Yeah. It's really like absorbing it in, taking it in, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you don't really need words to describe songs like this.
Yeah.
I also like the lead vocalist Alex Taylor's kind of very dark gutturals contrasting with the sort of ballady delivery of Conan.
Yeah.
You know? Almost like he's Conan's inner monologue pushing its way through.
Yeah.
You know? Without sounding too pretentious, you know.
I love the sort of range of different riffs they put into the song as well, even though it's like sort of a power ballad in a sense.
Very eclectic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, that guitar.
It's so great, right?
Oh, I can imagine myself bobbing my head to that.
This is for sure must be a crowd pleaser live when we get back to resuming gigs.
Yeah.
You could totally see what they mean by lighter bait. So yeah, that was Malevolence with The Other Side.
Oh my god.
What do you think?
Very, very different from them. Surprising, but I love surprising because it does show when a band can pull it off that there is more to them than what is originally expected from them. So it is a nice change of pace from hearing them like that, and I was surprised at his vocals as well. His vocals are really good. So
you don't get many bands and many songs of that kind of power ballady ilk, even like heavier ones, where the emphasis is on the lower side of the more baritone kind of vocals.
yeah, of course.
It almost like a kind of, his delivery reminds me a lot of Kirk Winstein from Crowbar.
I haven't listened to much Crowbar. I need to give them more of a listen.
He's got a very much a sort of kind of that kind of vibe to it. But it so works contrasting against the lightness of the sort of guitar lines.
Ah, nice. All right, well,
sorry, carry on.
I was just gonna say, well, after this, like I said, I'm gonna listen to the EP because it's that has blown me away. Like a sort of I know I didn't say much during the reaction, but it was just because I was just focusing a lot on taking it in,
Well, there you go. My job is done.
Your
clearly.
job is done.
I wanted you to get into it, and you certainly have.
Yeah.
So yeah, do check out this EP. It's called The Other Side. It was released in July this year, I think.
July. Okay.
It was earlier this year, but Malevolence, great band, and I hope they can press on and make more great music and gain more fans.
Nice. Sounds good. Check it out. The Other Side by Malevolence. Before we go on to this next one, I'm really sorry, Rob. I've been bursting for the toilet, and I just when you gotta go, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're doing an Eric Dyer.
Yeah. So keep me entertained just for a minute, and I'll be right back.
All right, I'll entertain the crowd. Okay, so like I said, thank you so much to everybody who so far has checked out our podcast. You can find us on YouTube under Keyyard Podcast is the name of our channel, where you'll find optimized versions of the topics we've covered in this podcast, as well as the podcasts themselves in full. I reckon over the next few episodes of this, we'll work on maybe getting a theme tune sorted out, maybe a Twitter or a Facebook account. Just thank you very much again for tuning in. And I've been doing my best to promote this on Discord or whatever. Finally, he's coming back. My ramble is going to cut short, and I'll hand over to KB for his listen to this segment.
Hello. Oh, I got a golden horn. My bad. I'll never let that one go.
Brilliant.
Anyway, so the band that I've picked now, if anyone's watched my YouTube channel since before they were born, then you would have seen that I made a top 20 albums of 2019 last year, and my number one, just to spoil it for the sake of this, was an album called The Dark Pool by Thornhill. I thought this album had such great melodies, amazing emotions behind it, a lot of atmosphere, and it's just like that perfect sort of metalcore / like I said, atmosphere vibe that you would want to get in wanting to cry in your bedroom or something like that. I don't know, questioning life or whatever you want to do. So the band consists of Jacob Charlton on vocals, Ethan McCann on guitar, Ben Mader on drums, Nick Sjogren, I don't know how Sjogren on bass, and Matt Van Duppen on guitar. They are from Melbourne in Australia. So in that crowd of like Parkway Drive and Amity Affliction, probably, well, much better than them, but sorry.
Amity Affliction.
Yeah, Yeah.
Amity affliction.
Is it Amity? Is it? Oh, okay.
Amity.
Amity.
The Secret Life of Water Amity Affliction.
Yeah, but yeah, by all means, Thornhill. What a wonderful sort of debut album they had, and they just hit the ground running. Essentially, they've had a few EPs beforehand, and now they've just gone and formed it all into one. So a particular song on the album is probably one of the more emotional ones, atmospheric ones, whatever you want to make about it, and it is called Lily and the Moon. So Rob, have you got the song in front of you?
I do indeed. Now, can I just say, I know I said last week regarding Alf Wolf's album that it was akin to Thornhill. I've never actually listened to Thornhill, so
You phony!
I know. I just they were lumped in the same camp as Loathe and all these bands and Lotus Eater and bands like that. So I just figured they'd be a similar style. But I know how you can surprise me, KB, with some of these. So this is Lily and the Moon by Thornhill.
Yep.
Let's check it out. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Solid technical riffage there.
Oh, it's got a lot of that in this album.
I'm liking this riffage a lot, I've got to say.
Still think they're like Alpha.
Can I just say right off the bat, Tesseract. That's what this reminds me of. That sort of kind of technical, genty sounding cleans and delay. Yes, good.
Yeah.
I like the atmosphere on the vocals.
Oh yeah. That's what really mixes them really well.
I've got to be honest, this is nothing like what I thought. A bit like your reaction to The Other Side. I thought it was going to be... I mean, I may be eating my words here. Oh, yes. I like that a lot. I don't know what tuning this is in. It's very Deftones-y sort of guitars there. Sounds like Needles and Pins from Deftones self-titled. That riff.
It might be probably G sharp maybe, or drop B, one of those.
Something like that, yeah. Man, this riffage, I got to tell you.
Oh yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. Good guitar playing.
It's very rhythmy sort of lead as well.
Yeah, I like the emphasis on rhythm and not just soloing for the sake of soloing, you know? I like the groove on it. And this dude's got a great voice as well. I love his cleans. Oh shit. Yeah! Get it! Oh, I love that. Sort of stop-starty, staccato-y riffage there.
I'll go into the meaning of the song after this, but it shows you how emotional this album as a whole is.
Yeah, this is great. The prog metal, is it fair to say it's kind of proggy in parts?
Yeah, I would say so. Mixture of metalcore and prog, fair to say.
Yeah, no growls in this yet, which I was quite surprised about. There's a slight high growls earlier in the song, but
yeah, I just thought this one was very embodies that atmosphere a lot.
Nice. I like that bit. They say. Very nice. Do they have a video for this? Was this a single?
No, I don't think this was. Nurture has one. Where We Go and We Die has one. I can't remember what else does.
Right, okay. Well,
Coven
well
had a
that
single,
was
Coven.
Lily and the Moon by Thornhill. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's kind of like with synesthesia. I'm not sure if that's the right word. It's probably not. But I can just picture what the video would be like to that tune. I can imagine crashing waves and like, riffage on like on a cliff face, wind blowing. It's got that kind of atmospheric vibe about it, which I love. You know?
Yeah, and get this. So in terms of the lyrics, Lily and the Moon, as Jacob mentions from the band, he says, Lily and the Moon is about my dog, but it's also broadly about loss, so everyone can relate to that in their own way. It could be about anyone someone has lost or is losing. It's not supposed to be a story of sadness either. It's supposed to be a reminder to make sure that we care enough about the people that we love while we still have them. So
it's interesting. It's interesting because I find sadder songs in a weird way are uplifting to me sometimes.
Oh yeah,
just because I don't know. Just because if you relate to, the more you relate to it on a song on an emotional level, the more empowered, I guess, you feel.
Yeah, and as for the title,
Right.
he said when Lily and him were younger, whenever there was a really big moon or a red moon or something, we'd go for a walk at night and just sit and watch it together. So that's kind of what it represents. So
Lily is his dog.
Yeah. And what the song means to him, Lily is really struggling at the moment. Her eyes, her mind, and her body are all aging, so it makes me look at her and think, am I doing enough? So, yeah, really powerful stuff there.
Well, I like that. I like the fact that you can take that interpretation of loss and grief and slowly losing someone and kind of reapply it to like one of your own memories of someone, I guess.
Yeah, by all means.
That's a sign of a good lyricist, you know. Something to leave it ambiguous or up to the viewer's discretion of what they want to make of it.
Yeah, like you've always got your own meaning to the song, the reason you wrote it, but then you expand it to like for the reason anybody else wants to listen to it, you know. Yeah.
Great stuff. I really enjoyed that. Thanks for that, KB.
No problem.
So that was Thornhill and Lily and the Moon.
Yeah.
I'm going to check out the rest of that album for sure.
Good stuff. Awesome. All right. Well, that brings us on to our last segment. Would you rather? And this is Rob's doing.
This is my doing indeed. Yes.
So take it away, my buddy boy.
Okie dokie. Right. So, would you rather? I have a website with 100 would you rather questions. Signupgenius.com. I get KB to pick a number between 1 and 100. And then we will discuss the resulting would you rather questions. So, KB, a number between 1 and 100, please.
Okay. 91.
91. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, yeah?
Would you rather live the rest of your life as a monk or be followed continuously by paparazzi?
Oh.
The mouth shape there said it.
To be honest, I can imagine, not to sound vain, but I imagine if I keep on growing on TikTok and stuff, I will be followed around by paparazzi. I just have to.
I like that subtle plug. That's a subtle plug there. I appreciate that.
So that's a bit inevitable, but I mean, if you consider the scale of being followed around all the time by paparazzi, no celebrity in the world, I don't think, is followed. All 100% of the time followed. I mean, paparazzi have a bedtime as well, I suppose, or they are the dickheads that never sleep. You never know, one of those.
So presumably, if you live the rest of your life as a monk, you're going to have to stay in the same Christian mission, maybe even take a vow of silence, and only sort of live your life in very limited means.
At least if people kick me in the balls, I won't feel it.
Are we thinking Shaolin monks or Franciscan monks here?
Well, it wasn't very specific, so I assumed that. Whatever. Standing on hot hot coals, so I can
So
just
we're
walk
thinking
Mount Etna.
you're going with Shaolin monks then from China with the orange robes.
Yeah, that'll do for me nicely. Except I'd I don't know. Yeah, I'll be in China. Just thinking about Corona and all that, but I don't know. Yeah, Shaolin monks. But no, I think as long as I have a good,
You have to be
barrier-
very disciplined if you're a monk.
Yeah, I think it would just be not the life for me. Not the life for me. 100%. I'd like to get married. I'd like to have kids one day, maybe. I'd like to continue streaming, and I don't think monks have a computer, so that's out of the cards. I love my internet, so I am gonna have to reluctantly say followed by paparazzi.
Instead of Ask Jeeves, it'll be Ask Jesus.
Yeah, ask Jesus to save me from these hooligans.
Ask Jeeves.
Good one.
Yeah. So thank you. I have to get in a good pun in at least one of these episodes. That is my modus operandi. Followed closely by paparazzi. I don't know. They'd be such a pain in the arse, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah,
I remember Toby Maguire. There's a footage of Toby Maguire in his car trying to drive away, and he's absolutely furious that they're in the way, and he's just going, "Get up!" You could see the anger in his face, and I hate being hassled too much. To be fair,
yeah. Let me see if I can find them
in any walks of life, but also I quite like attention.
Yeah.
So
I control the man.
It's a double-edged sword for me.
So
if I was to encounter, I guess I could just mess with them on a daily basis.
Yeah,
just
by all means, you get used to it.
Just like give them the finger every photo opportunity.
Pull out a Richard Ayoade on them.
Yeah, and don't say anything. You know, run them over potentially in my car.
So are we? are we both going with paparazzi then?
I don't know. Live your life as a monk. Your diet will be so strict, and everything will be so strict around you.
I'd rather not.
You need that creative freedom that you get with being potentially a well-known person,
wholeheartedly,
and being harassed. For the rest of my life, though, that's the clincher. Paparazzi for the rest of your life. They could turn up at like a loved one's funeral or like something like that.
Yeah. To be honest,
I hate to put a dark edge on it, but we have to discuss this.
Let me put this way then. I think paparazzi following me everywhere will make me want to die sooner. I mean, if I was, I'd get used to being a monk, but you have no
privacy whatsoever either. Actually,
like that South Park episode where they're following Britney Spears around, and then she shot herself, but like the top half of her head was missing, but they're harvesting her pretty much. It's like that sort of thing. They will follow her till she dies.
Doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
This is
actually a really tough one.
This is like a PSA for fuck off paparazzi.
Yeah, I know. This is really tough.
Yeah,
actually, I guess as a monk, if you're a monk and you have to adhere to a certain strict set of guidelines,
but it's
at least you might have your privacy.
It's very it is at least it's solicited. Like paparazzi are unsolicited.
That's true. That's very true. I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to go for a monk.
Same. Okay, I'll go for a monk.
I just,
I can live
even
without.
Though I like attention, I just do not. I want my private life to be intact.
Yeah, I can live without my testicles.
Okay, right. Another number, please. Then between 1 and 100. Should we make this the last one?
Yeah, if you want. 89.
Okay, 89. Would you rather sing like an opera star or cook like a gourmet chef?
Cook like a gourmet chef, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you love singing though, don't you?
Well, I mean, I don't sing opera.
yeah, but
for the power behind it, yeah, maybe. But I feel like
you don't have to strictly sing opera. That's the thing. You could apply that power in your vocals to. Yeah, no, you could front a symphonic metal band.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
and in the future, Janek will give a recommendation of one of your songs to another stupid podcast.
This next song goes out to all the ladies. It's called The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round.
Wow.
So yeah, I suppose opera singer. I could, you know, those memes where like someone really badly hurts themselves, like hurts them in the nether regions or something like that, and then an opera singer, it changes to an opera singer like Pavarotti or something. Have you seen that? Like there's this kid who's like he's kicking this pad that's on the wall, but then it's on the corner of the wall, and then as he's landing his last kick, the pad falls off and he kicks the bare corner of the wall, and then it just goes towards Pavarotti going.
Oh, I'll tell you what though, like opera singers, that is a tough job. You get like I've seen videos of I can't remember which particular opera singer this was, but it's a guy whose voice breaks in the middle of like a solo, and they start booing him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like opera audiences are a tough crowd. You know. But the thing is, I'd probably, you know, Howard Jones is basically an opera singer.
But then again, like, what are their work hours like compared to gourmet chefs? Because I imagine gourmet chefs like 60+ hours a week.
The thing is, if I cook like a gourmet chef, I will eventually probably end up on Kitchen Nightmares, and I don't want to get castigated by Gordon.
Man, all he's going to do these days is just react to your TikTok videos or something, you know? That's all he does.
Now, gourmet chef. Here's the thing, right? What would you say would be more attractive, more of an attractive trait to someone you might want to end up pursuing a relationship with?
Well, I mean, my type of person probably wouldn't be into opera.
Yeah, but that, you know, you have people who are really attracted to someone because of the quality of their singing or whatever, or musicianship. But you also have people, you know, girls love a man who can cook.
Oh yeah, I can cook cereals.
Cook cereals. I can't cook anything. Can I just say I'm a minus 100 stars if you were ranking me on the Michelin star scale.
Yeah, like I can cook a curry. I can make jambalaya. All of that is Katie.
I can make a stir fry. And bacon and eggs.
And
and that's about it.
I was the one who changed our way of making the tuna steaks, because we originally put it in the oven, and I said, no, we're going to fry it, we're going to marinate it, and all that good stuff, and then we're going to serve it. Because
who does the cooking in your house? Is it Kate or you?
Both.
You alternate?
Yeah, we alternate. Make it fair, 50-50.
Or
maybe 60-40.
Would she be really turned on by your culinary skills if you're a gourmet chef?
I think that's a question you have to ask her. I don't want to comment on her drive.
Oh dear. I don't know. I just love singing. So I honestly, if I could go to a karaoke bar like at the Dev, for example, and where we used to do our rock and metal karaoke every bi-monthly on every Thursday evening. Mm-hmm. If I could just blow their minds by singing like a Killswitch song entirely operatically, then that would give me the biggest buzz ever, you know?
People are falling
into
the arms of sorrow.
Yeah. Plus, I got to say, certain opera does give me goosebumps. You know, I genuinely quite like some opera songs. There's Nessun Dorma. You know, I know it's the obvious one to go for, but whenever I see footage of Pavarotti singing Nessun Dorma live, I'm almost close to tears.
It's also like I've seen that video, and you just there's not really a change of expression in his face, so that goes to show how great he was. One of the all-time greats.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to say, being Welsh, I mean, I imagine you have opera singing abilities kind of hardwired into your DNA anyway. So.
Oh yeah, well we got our Catherine Jenkins and
Catherine Jenkins. I was going to say. Aled Jones, of course.
Yes, Aled Jones. We got that Ridian guy from X Factor.
Is he an opera singer?
He's got an opera style. He's not necessarily like opera style of music. But
whereas what's our main opera singer like? Paul Potts. from the car phone warehouse.
I know. I swear I walked into that car phone warehouse and went, Death. No, he's lovely, I think. Oh no, I thought he was Welsh.
Oh, was he? What, he was Welsh as well?
I think so. Let me
Hang on, I'm going to have to look this up.
Okay, you look it up and I'll stall. Did you know I'm
He's
Welsh,
English.
guys?
He was English.
Oh, he's English, is he? Okay.
He's from Kingswood in Gloucestershire.
Who am I thinking of?
So,
there was that...
quite, to be fair, quite near Wales. I guess the closer you are to Wales, the bigger your singing ability is.
I remember there was that other guy on Britain's Got Talent, Jamie Pugh. He was Welsh.
Oh, you know what? Is this the guy who was on Shooting Stars? And one of the tasks on Shooting Stars was Jack D had to stand there whilst an opera singer sang in his face. Now, look it up, seriously, right now. Go Jack D. Type in Jack D opera singer Shooting Stars.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Sorry, I was just Googling Jamie Pugh and then I came off something terrifically sad. So
let's not bring
me off guard. So yeah.
Come on.
What is it? Jack D
opera.
Opera.
Yeah, just type that in. You probably can't. There we go. That's it. Second thumbnail. That's him, isn't it?
Yeah,
looks like him.
Let me have a look. Let me switch over to desktop. No, that's not him. It's a different guy.
But it's just hilarious because he just has to stand there whilst this guy sings right in his face an opera song.
And this is Jack D we're talking about, the guy with the most miserable face ever.
I know, right? And he can't help but crack a smile, you know. So, if I could do that, if I could like fend off, I don't know, someone was committing like some sort of felony in front of me, and I could just stand in front of him and blow his head off with my opera skills.
Or a shotgun.
Yeah, that would probably be more effective. But I'm a pacifist, you know.
Okay. Well, don't use your fists. Use the pellets.
If my opera singer voice was so powerful, I would transcend the sort of sound barrier. No, I totally go for opera. Anyway.
All right. I'll go for opera as well.
You would be a gourmet chef.
Wait, would I?
Well, that's what you said initially. Have I changed your mind?
I'm gonna go gourmet chef. I'm gonna be polarizing.
You're gonna be polarizing. Okie dokie, right. Well, there we go. That is the end of episode 7 of the Key Yard podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and continuing to watch us. I don't know why you're doing this, but there you go. Again, like I've stressed in the interval while KB was doing an Eric Dyer and going for his golden horn, you can follow us on YouTube. Our channel is Key Yard Podcast on YouTube, where you'll find optimized versions of every topic we've covered, as well as this podcast in full. So there you go.
Okay.
Any last words, KB?
No, just don't forget a bedpan in case you have an accident. And as I've got my own stuff going on my YouTube channel, I'm liking the progress so far, and happy Halloween for the rest of the month, because Halloween is not just for one day, it is for an entire year, because the world is scary.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no better time to celebrate Halloween than this year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I get trick-or-treaters, I don't know, will cough subdue, or I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Have you seen that scene on The Simpsons where when the China coughing in the delivery box and then sending it to Homer, and then it comes out and infects him?
That whole episode, Red Letter Media did a thing about it.
Yeah.
It's called it's the episode where Marge goes to jail, and they're saying the parallels in that episode from 1994 to now are scary.
I know, it's like Simpsons predict a lot, like the head, removing the head from the statue as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll probably get into that another day, but for now, I've been Rob. He's been KB. Thank you so much for listening to the Key Yard Podcast, episode number 7. We'll be back next Saturday, 2 p.m. British time. You want to sign off, KB?
Yeah, by all means. Thank you guys for watching. You can follow me all on my social media, shown on the Twitch channel as well as down below. And in the YouTube description of the highlights, we've got all the social links for us both. And stay tuned for more of these podcasts, as well as me streaming on Thursdays and Fridays as well. I've got Alien and Isolation and Among Us back to that next week, so I may include a bit of a gathering.
Yeah, I may drop into Among Us. We'll see.
That would be good, because I want to get more people involved. So until next time, guys, thank you. Lights out.